Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. We get ready to rock and roll here. Another night of wild racing action here from Daytona International Speedway as the HCK Beagles are back in action tonight. A little bit of a special event. We got the ARCA Menards cars out on the racetrack. These drivers are ready, and they're pumped to put on a show here for us. A big field of drivers, a lot of cars lined up, stacked up, and ready to go here in this one as these drivers ready to rock and roll already. Heat race number one. Park down pit side. We're going to get ready to set them loose here for our first heat race of the evening. Y'all came here for a show. Well, here you go as things are about to get underway here in this one. Alrighty, as we get ready to take a look at the field here as they roll out onto the racetrack, starting on the pole, it's the 17 machine of Frank Ranger Jr. Is outside in the 6 machine, that is AJ Godsey. Actually starting down on the pole is the 4 ride, the Home Depot machine of Eric Stoy as the field catches up here. It's Eric Stoy starting on the pole position. Frank Ranger is outside. We see Austin Johnson there in third. AJ Godsey to his outside. Devin Rowland starting there in position number 5. Stephen Naylor in the 5 ride starting there in position number 6. And then we see the 73 machine. That is Ryan Bass there in 7th to his outside. In the 24 car, it's the laughing car of NASCAR. It's the laughing car machine. That is Andrew Hainsley. Starting in position number 9 in the 78 ride. It's the Chevrolet machine of Dustin Rowland into his outside. In the Budweiser ride, that is the 8 machine of Derek Rowdy Puckett. And starting at the rear of the field in the Piggly Wiggly KP Rentals ride, that is the 34 of Jesse Calloway. These drivers stacked up, racked up, ready to go here for our first heat race of the evening. Yo, my boy Kevin Odelski coming in showing the love. What's good, Odelli? Odelli coming in, dropping that like on the stream. Jesse Calloway, Kevin Winker coming in with the reactions. My boy Gregory Turner coming in with the shares. HCK Beagles Racing League coming in with that share as well. If you guys are just tuning in, make sure you guys all hit that like button, hit the shares, hit the follow, hit the subscribe button as we're going to get ready to rock and roll. It's the pace car, makes the hard left-hand turn down pit side. We're going to get them set up and ready to rock and roll here for our first heat race of the evening. Quickly, Eric Stoy down the bottom side of the racetrack. We're going to try to run away as quickly as possible, trying to lead this pack down into quarter number 1 as these drivers flip through gears here in this one. My boy Odelli says, I'm good chilling. You, Odelli, we're always good up in here, homie. We're always good up in here. And Odelli coming in with the 100-star dono. Are you kidding me, Odelski? Are you kidding me, my boy? Coming in with the 100-star dono right out of the get-go as Eric Stoy continues to lead the way here. Austin Johnson glued right there to his back bumper. See that Pontiac leading the front of the field. We haven't seen a Pontiac in the field in quite a while here, so good to see the Pontiacs out in front here with that 4 machine. Austin Johnson right there in 2nd. Devin Rowland there in 3rd. Ryan Bass up into position number 4 as it looks like that bottom line really moving pretty good early on here in this one, as you even see the 6 ride of AJ Godsey down there now as well in that Sin Power Valvoline number 6 machine. Frank Ranger Jr. still trying to work that high side as the laughing cow, number 24 of Andrew Hainsley right there in position number 7 on the racetrack right now. Let's see if we can get a good look at this. Let's see a rear chase, which is unfortunate because I would love to have a rear chase look at this car. Let's jump up with Frank Ranger Jr. Take a look right there. See that laughing cow car right there. That is a Ricky Bobby throwback paint scheme. This is the first car Ricky Bobby drove. Love you, buddy. Love you too, Kev. Love you too, my boy. Yo, Justin Daniels, my boy Black Phoenix coming in, showing the love with the reactions on the stream as Man, that is absolutely an insane paint scheme right there. As we get a race at the front of the field, Devin Rowland looking to try to jump up here and take this lead away. Eric Stoy thought he had this one in his back pocket as that Grand Prix continues to try to pull alongside him, but the 7 Ryan going to jump down and clear that 4 machine. That's going to leave that high side open as Ryan Bass going to lead that high lane. But you see the 7 Ryan now has lane selections here. He can jump up and try to block the runs here from either lane as looks like that high lane just kind of stalled out a little bit right there, door to door with the 4 ride of Eric Stoy. As they head down across the start finish line, another lap clicked off the leaderboard here in this one as these drivers doing a great job. Yo, Tower Operator says, good evening, Tower Operator. Good evening, my boy. How are you? How you doing? Coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube, as well as YouTube continuing to grow more and more every single day and continue to try to get the content out as much as possible. And some great racing action and 3 wide here at the front of the field. Ryan Bass in the middle. Here comes Frank Ranger up to the high side. It's the laughing cow car with some heavy damage up against the outside wall. The 5 ride of Steven Naylor collected in that one. Dustin Rowland collected in that as well. Some pretty heavy damage to all 3 drivers. And we got more crashing here at the front of the field. Eric Stoy and Frank Ranger Jr. now collected here as the white flag has been displayed. We're going to play it back here quickly and see what happens between these guys as they were running 3 wide here right behind our leaders. Unfortunately, looks like Stoy just washed up the racetrack, got a little piece of the 8 ride. Unfortunately, he's going to go around as out in front we get another 3-car battle, almost 4 cars, because here comes Jesse Calloway. Some contact up on the high side. Calloway down low. He's going to squeeze right on by him, and he's going to pick up the first heat race win of the evening. In a wild finish down through corner number 3 and 4 is our top 3. 3 wide, wreck each other, and Jesse Calloway right down low in the right place at the right time picks up that win. Austin Johnson, AJ Gonsi, Devin Rowland, Rowdy Puckett coming home there in our top 5. Ryan Bass, Frank Ranger Jr., Steven Naylor, Dustin Rowland, Eric Stoy, and Andrew Hainsley rounding out the field there in that one. What a turn of events down through 3 and 4. You'd almost want to say that was scripted, but there was nothing scripted about that. That was just absolute amazingness down there. That was just absolutely beautiful how things worked out like that. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in, please make sure you guys hit those reactions, hit those heart reactions on the stream right now. Hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the follow button. It's only a few steps to do, and it's is it too early to drink? It's never too early to drink, Joseph. It's never too early to drink, my boy. Never too early. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, brother. As every single like, comment, and share on the stream helps push it out more and more and more. The more likes, shares, and comments we have is the more people that get to enjoy all of this wicked racing action as we get these drivers stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here. Heat race number 2 is about to get underway. Heat race number 2 lined up down here pit side, starting on the pole. In the number 88 machine, that is Zachary Stanton to his outside. In the 469, a different looking paint scheme here. Pink ride here for that Ridge Power Sports number 469 of Ryan Peterson. Starting in position number 3 in the 42, that is Kevin Winker, as Winker going to start there in third into his outside. In the 39 ride, that is the Interstate Battery machine of Josh Freed. Starting down in position number 5 in the 998, that is Corey Buskirk into his outside. In the High Bruce Mule Burger Custom Homes, number 15, that is Cody Stanton. Starting in position number 7 in the 761, that is William Fox into his outside. In the McDonald's number 86, that is Jake Bunjo. Starting at position number 9 in the 51 ride, it's another one of those Mule Burger Custom Homes rides. That is Joshua Moore into his outside. in the number 1 Chevrolet. That is Austin Hester. 10 more drivers ready to rock and roll here. 5 more laps for heat race number 2 as things are about to get underway. My boy Joseph coming in, showing the love, says, exclamation mark, follow wedge. I don't know why that didn't work. At least it didn't work for me. It didn't pop up for me. You might have to try it again. I don't know. O'Delly coming in with the exclamation mark only beards. The exclamation mark only beards. Oh my gosh. Tammy Lee Man coming in, showing the love, says Ridge Power Sports number 469. Ryan Peterson, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Okay, so that's a beautiful, beautiful cause for that pink machine right there. The Breast Cancer Awareness ride. Ryan Peterson starting on the outside of front row. He's looking to, beat all these drivers in this one, as so many women are battling cancer and breast cancer and every other sorts of cancers out there, and we hope them. I hope we need to find a way to get rid of cancer, chat. We need to get rid of cancer. But definitely a beautiful thing that 469 ride is doing with the Breast Cancer Awareness number 469 machine is out in front. It's another one of those high Bruce Muhleberger Custom Homes number 88 ride, as that is Zachary Stanton out in front of that bottom lane, has a teammate of his right there behind him and a few more in this heat. So definitely going to be looking forward to seeing all these Muhleberger Custom Homes rides trying to find each other out there on the racetrack and see if they can work a little bit of teamwork up towards the front of the field. We've seen them do a lot of teamwork before. We've seen it pay off. We've seen it be the worst thing is already. You see the 42 rider, Kevin Winker, trying to jump right down through the middle here, make a 3-1 contact between him and 2 of his teammates in the big one here in heat race number 2. Goes early on Zachary Stanton with a bunch of damage. Joshua Moore just getting a piece of that one. Cody Staten getting a ton of damage there, as well as Kevin Winker looks to split both of them. Unfortunately, it's right in the middle. Kind of takes the 88 ride up into the 15. They get up into the outside wall. Winker keeps on rolling here as he's stuck right to the back bumper of that 39 ride of Josh Freed down the backstretch. So it's Josh Freed, Kevin Winker, Ryan Peterson out in front of 3-car breakaway here at the front of the field. Then it's a little ways back, almost 2 seconds now, to our 4th place driver. It's one of those Muhleberger Custom Homes rides, getting a shove here from his teammate Joshua Moore, as Moore trying to help that fairly damaged number 88 truck back towards the front of the field. Cody Staten back there in position number 6. Unfortunately, a tore-up race car here for that 15 machine. And then you see Corey Budensick with some damage there as well. Back in 7th, Austin Hester there in position number 8. Has some pretty heavy damage as well to the 1 ride. Jake Bunjo back there in the McDonald's number 86 ride back in 9th. And William Fox with a ton of damage on that 761 ride is going to take it down pit side. As you can see, that right front tire not even budging. That thing does not want to move. That thing is absolutely destroyed, as there goes our race leaders back across the start-finish line. That's going to put William Fox a lap down. An unfortunate break there for William, as and heat race number 2 didn't take long to get this one kind of jumbled up and pretty crazy out there on the racetrack. Andrew says, looks like Ainsley Motorsports is a 1-track team again tonight. Oh no, Andrew, my boy. That's some tough luck out there, brother. That's some tough luck out there. You don't want to be there at Daytona. No teammates, no help, no nothing. It's some help and some teamwork starting to come into play here as Kevin Winker sees a pair of his teammates slowly but surely closing in on them, as Joshua Moore is continuing to help push this 88 truck straight to the front of the field here, as they're going to continue to try to march their way towards the front. They're going to get right to the back bumper here of the 469. They're going to look. Ooh, it looked like they were going to try to jump up and make it 3-1 as the 51 ride continues. The battle is out in front. It's Ryan Peterson and Josh Freed side by side as the white flag has been displayed. So down the backstretch, we'll have to wait and see which one of these Muhleberger cars can try to find their way down into victory lane. Can Ryan Peterson in the Breast Cancer Awareness number 469 hold them off, or is it the Interstate Batteries? Number 39, a Josh Freed, who's going to be able to pick up the checkered flag. He gets a great run down through corner number 3 and 4. He's trying to block the 469 ride. It's a drag race photo finish across the line. It is Josh Freed holding on to pick up the checkered flag here in heat race number 2. Ryan Peterson, Kevin Wanker, Joshua Moore, and Zachary Staten going to come home in our top 5. Cody Staten, Corey Budensick, Jake Bunjo, Austin Hester, and William Fox going to round out our top 10 here in heat race number 2. What a wild one we just had right there. A big wreck early on, no caution flags. So we run it right down to the very, very end of this one, and we saw some pretty crazy contact and a lot of heavy damage for a few of these drivers out there on the racetrack. As see Ryan Peterson still out there. Looks like he's going to make a look towards pit lane for maybe a little bit of practice there for his pit lane entry in that 469 ride. So not a bad plan there. Getting some preparation here for this A-main feature event as we're going to get this field stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. Yo, Rodrigo coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, cheer on your favorite driver here in the comment section as we're going to get ready to set them loose. Our A-main feature event about to get underway. All these drivers loading into the sim here, back behind our official iRacing pace truck. Starting on the pole, in the Piggly Wiggly, number 34, that is Jesse Calloway. To his outside in the Interstate Batteries, number 39, that is Josh Freed. Down in position, number 3 in the 12 ride, that is Austin Johnson. And to his outside, in that breast cancer awareness, Ridge Power Sports, number 469, that is Ryan Peterson. Starting in position number 5. In the Valvoline, number 6, it is the 6 machine of AJ Godsey. And to his outside, in the Muhleberger Custom Homes, number 42, that is Kevin Winker. Starting at position number 7 in the 7, that is Devin Rowland. Into his outside in the Muhleberger Custom Homes, number 51, that is Joshua Moore. Starting in position number 7 in the 8 ride is the Budweiser machine, that is Derek Rowdy Puckett. And rounding out our top 10 in the 88 ride, it's another one of those Muhleberger Custom Homes machines, that is Zachary Staten. Starting in position number 11 in the 73, that is Ryan Bass. Into his outside, you see the number 15 of Cody Staten. Then you see Corey Budensick, Jake Bunjo, Frank Ranger Jr., Steven Naylor, Eric Stoy deep in the field here, Austin Hester, Dustin Rowland, William Fox, Andrew Hainsley. Rounding out the field here, 21 drivers. Let's go 12, says Gregory Turner. My boy Gregory coming in, showing the love. Jeff Hinkle coming in with that like on the stream. Tammy Lee Mann coming in, smashing the like as well. My boy Gregory Turner coming in with the massive 100-star dono coming in, setting it off here in the chat as well with the 100-star dono as 21 drivers ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here in this one. This is going to be a very, very exciting race, man. This is a lot of very fast, talented drivers that have a lot of room, but some very, these are very, very tough race cars if they're on the racetrack. When you're starting to bump and bang and everything else, these things are pretty wild out there. So these guys are going to have their hands full. We may see a few caution flags, but knowing this field, we're going to see a lot of good green flag racing, a lot of side-by-side, 2 wide, 3 wide, as we're going to end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are green flag racing here at Daytona International Speedway. Out in front, it's the 34 ride of Jesse Calloway. Calloway getting through the gears here quickly, has a few cars right there on his back bumper, trying They'll push him even farther out in front as the 12 ride of Austin Johnson would love to try to jump up here and clear that 39 ride of Josh Freed as well, but Freed finally getting some help back there behind him as here comes that breast cancer awareness, number 469, Ryan Peterson, as Peterson right there as well. In position number 5 is AJ Godsey. One of last week's, I believe last week's winner, AJ Godsey, coming home in that top spot, or he came home in second. I can't remember now, but he was up there, and, you know, that 6th ride was very, very good last week, and he's looking to have another good week, trying to put, you know, himself into that championship contention. Here's some good finishes back-to-back weeks here, trying to get another good run. Riding up inside the top 5 right now is Kevin Winker. There to his outside as Winker in position number 6 on the outside. Starting to see a bunch of these Muhlenberger Custom Homes rides all kind of getting stacked together here as well. See 4 of them all right there. That is Kevin Winker, Joshua Moore, Zachary Staten, and Cody Staten all lined up together there on the high side of the racetrack. You got to imagine those 4 cars looking to try to make it a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish here with all 4 of them up towards the front of the field, but they may be able to find some grounding help here early on in the evening, but could put themselves in a very treacherous position if something happens up here towards the front of the field. As continuing to lead the way is Jesse Calloway. Calloway still out in front with the 39 rider Josh Freed having himself a very, very good run here as well. Right there in position number 1 now as he's going to make the move and drop down to the inside here. He's going to clear the 34 ride of Jesse Calloway. So Freed out in front, Calloway back to second. Austin Johnson right there, 3rd in line on the bottom side, but here comes Ryan Peterson towards the front of the field. Peterson getting a great shove here from Kevin Winker and the rest of the Muhlenberger Custom Homes rides as now Ryan Peterson's thinking about jumping down to the bottom side of the racetrack. That may not be the right ideas. Here comes all 4 of the Muhlenberger rides as they're looking to try to jump up and take this lead away. All 4 of those Chevy Impalas starting to push towards the front of the field. We knew it wasn't going to take very long for one of them to try to find their way up towards the front. Now the rest of the field has to put in the work, trying to beat them once again another week where they're going to be trying to have to, you know, fight back and try to find a way up and around those 4 Muhlenberger cars. It looked like they had it in the bag last week. A late race caution flag mixed things up, and fortunately they were not down in victory lane. As, man, great here again, great teamwork out of them as Madison says, let's go HR Racing. Cheered on the HR Racing crew out there on the racetrack as, man, there is a lot of cars out here, a lot of good drivers. Some of them playing a little bit safer as you see Corey Budensick back there, Frank Ranger Jr. kind of laying back a little bit. So isn't that laughing clown number 24 of Andrew Hainsley, the 8 ride of Derek Rowdy Puckett, Stephen Naylor, all kind of playing it a little bit safe here, deeper in the field as Joshua Moore is going to jump up and take this lead away from their teammate Kevin Winker. Winker's going to stay up in front here of the high side, but the rest of them going to jump down to the bottom here. So some different strategy here by the Muhlenberger Custom Homes team. And now Kevin Winker up there on the high side all by himself. His teammates lined up 1, 2, 3 down low inside of him here as he continues to try to find good runs. Right there behind him, you see the 1 ride of Austin Hester. Hester started deep in this field and has worked himself up inside the top 5 here, so a good run for that 1 ride. Man, a good run here for him. He's got AJ Godsey right there behind him. Behind base right there as well. The 761 ride of William Fox there as well as Fox working himself up towards the front of the field. Here comes Eric Stoy as well. Eric Stoy right there trying to break himself inside the top 10 as Ryan Peterson and Josh Freed, unfortunately, 2 drivers that lit some laps here early on in this race. Looking very, very stout, very strong now, starting to slide back a little bit into that 9th and 10th position on the racetrack as here comes Eric Stoy looking to try to get to the outside of them as well. They got the 34 ride of Jesse Callaway right there. Callaway led some laps early. They're just staying glued right down to the bottom side of the racetrack. They're really not moving around, switching lanes, or trying to do anything crazy down there on the bottom side of the racetrack as we're going to quickly jump into a PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. These drivers stacked up side by side and putting on a show. We're going to jump into our PeaceMaker Gaming Crank It Up. So ladies and gentlemen, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers. We're going to crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up here for our drivers with a beautiful crank it up here in this one. All these drivers doing a wonderful job. It's my boy Alex Dean coming in with that like on the stream. Joshua Rambo, Sarmento coming in, smashing that like on the stream as well. Man, some wicked racing action already. Some green flag pit stops. Richie West says, let's go. AJ Gonsi and Eric Stoy cheering on AJ and Eric out there on the racetrack. As man, some pretty crazy pit strategy here once again, but this field kind of stacked together for the most part, but a few drivers staying out there on the racetrack quite a bit longer. That is Frank Ranger Jr. out in front leading this field, still yet to pit. Same with Corey Budensick, who's right there behind him in that 998 ride. There are top two drivers in the car right there behind him currently in that lucky dog position. That is Austin Hester. It's Hester right there in position number 17, one lap down, looking to try to stay in that lucky dog position or try to work himself back around these front two drivers if they come down pit side. The rest of the field tries to hunt them down about 27 seconds back. You see this big group of drivers being led right now by Kevin Winker, as Winker out in front here of this second pack. Eric Stoy right there in fourth. See AJ Gonsi, those two once again nose to tail working together here. See the 78 ride of Dustin roll in there as well. Same with Jesse Calloway, Ryan Bass, the 7 ride of Devin rolling in to his outside in the 86. That is Jake Bunjo, and rounding out our top 10 is right there behind them in the 761 ride. That is William Fox. Unfortunately, Fox, also one of those drivers, stuck a lap down back there in the 20th position. So some of these drivers needing our leaders to come down pit side and to give them a little bit of a break here, as Zachary Staten and Joshua Moore right there nose to tail. They unfortunately have that next pack coming up on them quickly here. And that's going to put them another lap down, as right now they are currently a lap down to Frank Ranger Jr. and Corey Budensick. Well, I do believe both these drivers are going to need to make a pit stop at some point in time in this race, but they're trying to work it so that they can only make it on maybe one pit stop here. Trying to stretch their fuel out more and more and more, as this time by the start-finish line, we're going to be halfway in and halfway to go here of this A-Main feature event. I'm not sure if they'll make it all the way back around or not. Looks like they're going to make another lap here, so I think they're going to take it to halfway, try to make this on a one-stop pit run where everyone else may have to come down a second time still, pinning a little bit earlier. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out, as Kevin Winker 24.5 seconds back of our race leader, as drivers trying to get lined up here, trying to go a little bit more single file, as unfortunately there goes the 88 of Zachary Stanton and Joshua Moore, as they're sliding farther and farther back in the field, currently in the 18th and 19th position. Both of them are currently a lap down to our race leaders, and even if our race leaders were to pit, they're back behind Kevin Winker, their teammate again here, going a lap down still anyways to our race leaders. So slow pit stops there for the 51 and the 88, making for some difficult work for themselves. Same with William Fox, Cody Staten way back there with some pretty good damage, as we saw him come down pit lane and get into his teammate in the 51 ride, spin him around, and some pretty good damage there for Cody Stanton, as Sam back in that 21st and final position on the racetrack, as Frank Ranger Jr. and Corey Budensick continue to lead the way, as Mama Bear coming in showing the love. What's good, Mama Bear? Susie Dickinson coming in with that heart reaction. How are you, Mama Bear? Coming in showing the love. Jarnell says save the tats. Go number 469 Peterson. Gotta save those tatas. Gotta save them tatas, my boy. Derek Rowland says, let's go, Rowland boys. The Rowland boys looking pretty good, both up inside the top 10 right now. Devin in the 8th position. Dustin right there behind him in position number 10. They have Jake Bunjo there to his outside. And And this second group here getting a little racy as see the 88 truck trying to work himself what could be back onto the lead lap here if our front two drivers come down pit side. They're trying to stay in front of their teammate, the 42 ride of Kevin Winker, as Winker is currently in position to consume that race lead. If we see Frank Ranger Jr. and Corey Budensick come down pit side here, so it's going to be an interesting turn of events for these drivers. Once these guys come down pit side, see Austin Hester right there trying to go back around him, trying to get back on the lead lap. Not too far in front of them. You see a few more drivers that are at verge of going a lap down. Cody Staten right there as well, almost going a lap down. I do believe going a lap down for possibly the second time here for Cody Staten, so a definite tough break there for that Muhlenberger number 15 rider, so that's going to put him 2 laps down. It's Frank Ranger Jr. and Corey Buskirk staying out on the racetrack here, continuing to lead some laps, continuing to stay out there. I don't, can they make it the whole way on fuel? That's the big question. I don't think they can. I don't think they can make it the full distance on this fuel run, but looks like they're going to give it a shot. At least they're going to try to click off as many laps as possible in hopes that everyone else in the field will have to come down pit side, or if they can get lucky and catch a yellow flag here, they'd come down pit side with all that track position and catch a few of these drivers down a lap like Zachary Staten right now. The first car 1 lap down back there in the 88 ride in the 18th position as Austin Johnson, Ryan Peterson, Austin Hester, Steven Naylor, all right there in front of our race leader, Frank Ranger Jr. and Corey Budensick. Buskirk, it's Buskirk in that 998 ride as Corey Buskirk there in position number 2. You see some of these lap down cars starting to work themselves around our race leaders, so you gotta imagine maybe our race leaders being a little bit easier on the gas pedal. They continue to lose time to that second group with so many people there drafting against each other, but side by side drafting, going a little bit slower than what they would want to, but these guys are catching them, but not catching them as fast as I thought they would, as Frank Ranger Jr. out in front here. Corey Buskirk there in position number 2 by about 18 seconds. As they go across the start-finish line, they're going to click another lap down here. So they're looking at about 15 more laps left to go. Not sure if they're good on fuel, if they're good on tires, if they can make it the whole distance or not, or if everyone's going to have to come down pit side here again. And I don't know, maybe they already came down pit side, just kind of like miraculous runs down pit side. Somehow or another, though, Frank Ranger Jr. and Corey Buskirk out in front. I do believe they have not came down to pit side yet, so we'll wait and see when they finally pull the trigger and head down pit side here. If he's, oh, there you go. There they go. They're headed down pit side that time by down into that front stretch pit stalls. So our race leaders, Frank Ranger Jr. and Corey Buskirk, head down pit side. That means down through corner number 3 and 4, down this front straightaway. Another cross start finish line here. Unfortunately, not going to lead that lap, but that's going to move the 42 ride of Kevin Winker out in front now as Kevin's going to consume that lead. Eric Stoy right there as well as a couple lap down drivers. You see the 88 ride of Zachary Staten, unfortunately trying to stay in front of our race leaders as the 51 of Joshua Moore gets up into the outside fence there just a little bit as Moore back there. Also a lap down in the 20th spot. Zachary Staten right now in position number 18. He's currently in that free transfer position. He's trying to stay in front of that 42 ride to keep himself on the lead lap and give someone else a lucky dog. And right now it's William Fox that would be in that lucky dog situation as Frank Ranger Jr. with a super slow pit stop right there. That's going to put him a lap down himself. So Frank Ranger Jr. with all that preparation and planning and everything else, unfortunately, is going to come out of the pits, and he's going to be a lap down here. A tough break there for the 17 ride. We'll take a look here. There's Corey Buskirk back out onto the racetrack, currently scored in the 12th position. Already made his pit stop there. I'm not sure if everyone else is going to have to make another stop or not, but he's looking to try to work himself back to the front of the field here with a little bit of pit strategy. If everyone else comes down pit side one more time, he could be sitting pretty and could be sitting down here in victory lane in just a few more moments. My boy Dude Guy 2.0 coming in. Brian, my boy, coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. What's good, Dude Guy? How are you, brother? How you doing? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. As out in front, Kevin Winker and Ryan Bates battling side by side. This is the racing action that we like to see here with these ARCA Menards cars, as some great racing action, a little bit of jostling around back there throughout the field, but right now, the 88 and that 761 rider, William Fox and Zachary Staten, are battling for that free pass position, as they're both currently scored one lap down, and the race leaders are right there in front of them, the 73 and the 42, as Ryan Bates and Kevin Winker continue to lead this field at Daytona International Speedway. Right there behind him in position number 3, that is Eric Stoy. In position number 4 is the 34 of Jesse Calloway. And we see the 6th ride of AJ Godsey, Devin Rowland there as well. Jake Bunjo, Dustin Rowland, Derek Rowdy Puckett, and Josh Freed rounding out our top 10. Andrew Ainsley there in 11th, and Corey Buskirk is going to go around. So all the strategy and all the work that the 998 rider Corey Buskirk was trying to use here to his advantage, having this long green flag run, he's going to bring out our first caution flag of this race. We'll take a look back and see what happens. It looks like he just, I don't know, maybe it's a flat tire or something on this 998 ride as he just comes out of the tri-oval, and that car just bent all out of shape. He's trying to catch it, trying to hang back onto it. Unfortunately, going around right in front of a few other drivers there. Luckily enough, they were all able to avoid him. He gets stopped on the racetrack, and that's going to bring out our first caution flag here in this one. So tough break there for the rest of the field, as they had some good lead over the rest of the pack here, and that's going to stack things back up and bring all these drivers right back together on the bumper to bumper here. And I do believe William Fox in the 761 ride is going to get that free pass. He is going to work himself back onto the lead lap here, being that first car one lap down, unfortunately, for Zachary Staten, as Staten is going to be needing another caution flag here, trying to get that wave around. So isn't Joshua Moore, Frank Ranger Jr. Cody Staten's going to need a couple, as a couple drivers going a couple laps down there, as see some cars decide whether or not to come down pit side. Doesn't look like, oh, there we go. First drivers, the 15 of Cody Staten back there in the 21st position. Here comes Derek Rowdy Puckett, Josh Freed, Andrew Ainsley, Austin Hester, Stephen Naylor, Austin Johnson, all coming down pit side. Going to get some work done to their cars. William Fox going to head down, get some work done to his machine. That 998 ride, the car that just brought out our first and only caution flag, also headed down pit side here to get some work done to that 998 ride. It's a tough break there for Buskirk, trying to use some strategy to his advantage. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to pay off now for him, with everyone having the opportunity to come down pit side. As we did see Ryan Peterson stay out there on the racetrack, so Peterson to roll up into position number 9 on the racetrack now in that 469 ride. The breast cancer awareness machine, as he's looking to try to march himself back up towards the front of the field and trying to park that breast cancer awareness ride down in victory lane. All right, some drivers using a little bit of fuel strategy here. It's using the clutch, kind of turning the car off. Eric Soy definitely not letting off the throttle. He's primed and ready to go, running at about 4,600 RPM. He's ready to rock and roll here up towards the front of the field to see everyone else kind of running in a higher gear. Keep those RPMs down. Eric Stoy running in a whole different gear. I think he needs to gear up here once that bad boy stops screaming. He's going to blow her up. The oil temps are going to be climbing here any second now. And 5K right now. All right, so we'll stack them up, rack them up, get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments as the lights are off the official iRacing pace truck. That means we're going to get ready to set these drivers loose. It's next time by when the green flag flies. We're going to get 7 more laps left to go. 7 more laps to duke it out here in this one. In these ARCA Menards cars, live from Daytona International Speedway. We got them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing. Alrighty, as we're going to go through the gears down there on the racetrack with our McDonald's number 86 of Jake Bunjo. We're going to jump right on board this 86 ride for our first restart of the evening. You'll get to hear him flip through the gears and get up to speed here around the beautiful Daytona International Speedway as we're going to go back to green flag racing this time by as they hit the Geico restart zone, and they're going to power through these gears. Alrighty, as got a couple in-car shots there. These drivers flipping through the gears and navigating around this beautiful 2.5-mile racetrack. As right now leading the way down across the start-finish line this time by, we're going to see 5 more laps left to go. So 5 more laps for the 73 of Ryan Bass and Kevin Winker as they run side by side here at the front of the field. 2 lanes deep side by side throughout the field here as See a good run down at a corner number 2 for that 73 ride. Getting a great shove from the Piggly Wiggly number 34 is the KP Rentals ride of Jesse Calloway right there in the bottom side of the racetrack in that second lane. Eric Stoy up there to his outside in the Home Depot number 4 ride, giving Kevin Winker some good pushes there up on the high side as they continue to stay door to door down across the start finish line. Give the advantage ever so slightly to Winker that time across the start finish line here as Ryan Bass right there in position number 2, continue to work down on that inside, looking to maybe try to clear him as we see a little bit of contact deeper in the field. Hang on to the 7 ride. Oh, there we go, some more contact. Jesse Calloway going down through the infield, so is it Ryan Bass. No caution flag on the racetrack as Jesse Calloway and Ryan Bass go for a ride here. We're going to take a look back and see what happens as these were the 2 drivers leading that inside lane. It just looks like the 73 going to get a good shove. No, he's going to jump up to maybe clear the 42. Couldn't quite clear him. The 42 ride was there, makes a little bit of contact with the rear bumper of the 73. He shoots back down the racetrack. Takes off that front nose of the 34 ride of Jesse Calloway, and unfortunately both of them parked down in the infield, but now rolling back out onto the racetrack, continuing to keep on trucking. But unfortunately, deep in the field themselves, as out in front, it's Kevin Winker leading the way, but here comes Jake Bunjo down to the inside here, trying to roll up door to door with the 42. As this time by the start finish line, we're going to see 2 more laps left to go. 2 more laps here from Daytona International Speedway. Slowly but surely, you're seeing some of these other drivers work themselves back up towards the front of the field. Looking at drivers like Ryan Peterson, Zachary staying up inside the top 8 here, as well as Dave's worked himself back inside the top 10 in the 88 ride. Austin Hester rounding out our top 10 as you see Andrew Ainsley up there in that beautiful Laughing Clown number 24 machine. And some more contact. Zachary Staten collected. There's a big one here, and the caution flag is going to fly. Dustin Rowland collected in that one. Josh Freed with some heavy damage. The 17 of Frank Ranger Jr. It's the 8 ride as well of Derek Rowdy Puckett getting some pretty heavy damage there as well. Stephen Naylor with a bunch of damage here on that number 5 ride as he's going to take it right down pit side. As that Reese's number 5 ride is looking like a bit of a melted Reese's right now. That front nose is absolutely busted up, and unfortunately a ton of damage there for Stephen Naylor. As we'll take a look back and see what brings out our caution flag here for the second time, as it's like a couple incidences here. Maybe drivers trying to get underneath of each other here, trying to avoid the wreck, as 78 ride, and I do believe right in front of him is the 88 of Zachary Staten. Looks like they're going to try to take him 3 wide here, maybe getting a little shove from Austin Hester up on the high side, shoots him down the racetrack a little bit more than anticipated here for that 78. That's the first little bit of contact, but then up on the high side, a big hit into the driver's side door for that 51 ride of Joshua Moore, and you see the 5 machine of Stephen Naylor just flying through the air there. Tough break there for Stephen Naylor. Some pretty heavy hits for that 5 machine, as we'll get another look at it here with Stephen Naylor as he gets underneath the 51, spins him around, then up into the wall, gets the 17 right into the side of him, and that's how quickly it happens. And unfortunately for Stephen Naylor, there's nothing he could do. We'll jump right on board here with this 5 ride. Honk if you think I'm sexy. I don't know if you thought you were sexy or not, but he definitely gave you a bit of a honk right there. Woo! What a ride. What a wreck, ladies and gentlemen. You see him going through the grass there, just trying to hang on to this thing, as a tore-up race car for Stephen Naylor and a tore-up race car for a lot of these other drivers, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here. We're going to get a green-white checkered Our first attempt at the green-white checkered here on the evening. So a little bit of ARCA Menards, HCK Beagles overtime here from Daytona International Speedway. Is Kevin Winker out in front. Jake Bunjo there in second. Eric Stoy in third. William Fox there in fourth. Fox was a lap down not too long ago. Able to work himself now back inside the top 5. AJ Godsey there in position number 5 in that breast cancer awareness. Number 469, Orion Peterson in position number 6. Andrew Hainsley there in position number 7 of the 24. Ryan with Austin Hester right there behind him in position number 8. Then we see Austin Johnson there in 9th and Devin Rowland rounding out our top 10. Corey Buskirk there in position number 11 as Dustin Rowland right there behind him. Zachary Staten there in 13th with Derek Rowdy Puckett in position number 14. Ryan Bates rounding out our top 15. Jesse Calloway, Stephen Naylor, Josh Freed rounding out our lead lap drivers on the racetrack. 18 drivers on the lead lap as Frank Ranger Jr. unfortunately a lap down. Cody Staten also a lap down out there on the racetrack. And Joshua Moore in the 51 ride also a lap down, as well as you see Jesse Calloway headed back down pit side here once again as this field stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. Green flag racing here once again. Now the big question is, ladies and gentlemen, do they make it back around to the white flag, or do we see the caution flag here before the final lap of this race? That is the big question. Can they hold it together? Can everyone keep it pointed in the right direction without causing another caution flag here late in this race? All the pressure on the line, everybody trying to get every single inch, every single position that they can, all to use it towards the points championship. And a little bit of bragging rights out there on the racetrack, having a good run. So a lot of drivers from deeper in the field are going to be trying to jump on top of the gas pedal here, up on top of the wheel, and trying to work themselves up towards the front. The rest of the drivers up at the front are going to be playing a little bit more defensively, trying to hold those hard chargers back there behind them. And that's usually where we see some issues. Now the issue is, when do we see it? Do we see it? How many drivers will unfortunately be collected in it, as we're going to find out here in just a few more moments as they head down into corner number 3, and we're going to head straight back down to our Geico restart zone. Alrighty, as the lights are off, the official iRacing pace car, he's going to make the hard left-hand turn back down pit side. As the field is going to hit the Geico restart zone, we're going to go for our first attempt at the HCK Beagles overtime here at Daytona International Speedway. Kevin Winker trying to get up through the gears here. He's going to slide up towards the high side of the racetrack. The bottom 3 cars in the first lane are going to jump up and clear big Jake Bunjo, as Bunjo going to slide all the way back to 4th. Once again, up towards the front of the field. 2 drivers we saw down in victory lane up inside the top 2 last week. It's Eric Stoy and AJ Godsey once again up towards the front of the field here, looking to try to put on another show, trying to park their rides up on the podium here, down in victory lane once again. And some contact, though, deeper in the field. The 24 ride of Andrew Hainsley collected. Around goes the 24, and the caution flag is going to fly here once again. So the caution flag coming out for the 4th time as the laughing car, the laughing clown number 24 machine, some pretty heavy damage here going around. That is going to bring out our caution flag, as we didn't make it back down around the start-finish line. As 24 down here on the bottom, right behind him, Austin Johnson. 998 ride right there as well. Looks like the 12 going to kind of go up the racetrack to avoid the 24 with a good run. Unfortunately, door slams that 998 ride, comes back down the racetrack right into that left rear of Andrew Hainsley. That's going to shove Hainsley up the racetrack over the nose of that 998 ride. Nowhere to go for Buskirk. Nothing for the 24 ride to do but hang on to it, and a pretty good hit right there for the 78 ride is also, you see Joshua Moore going around there as well, going for a bit of a spin. Doing a great job here. Yeah, right there when the 78 ride's going to get him again and launch that number 51 up into the air, but he almost saved that. I'm not going to lie. We'll take a look and see what happens here to... Oh, looks like he's trying to check up. The 17 ride never checked up and got into the back end of him there and helped spun him around. Fortunately, there's some pretty heavy damage for Frank Ranger as well, as he's the driver that gets into the 51 and spins him around. As you see the 24 down pit side, a lot of other drivers down here as well. You see Ryan Peterson down pit side, Austin Johnson, Devin Rowland, Corey Buskirk headed down to get some work done to his car. Austin Hester, Dustin Rowland, Andrew Hainsley all down there getting some repairs done to their rides as we'll get these drivers stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Now you see a lot of these drivers down on the very bottom. They're down on the apron of the racetrack. What they are doing is trying to run that car down on the apron where it's very, very flat, not up on the banking. So where the fuel pickups are, when you're on that banking, the fuel is actually sliding down to the other side of the fuel pickup, where if you're running low on gas, it may not be able to pick up the amount of fuel that you need, and you'll experience some spitter and sputter out of the car, even though you have enough fuel in it. So unless if you're going full speed, you know, that full speed momentum will hold it up there and keep it kind of balanced itself. But under caution, when you're not going very fast around these bankings, that fuel will unfortunately slosh down to the other side, and what that can do is not only help you run out of fuel, but it could also make you think you're running out of fuel, and it could also make for some hiccups on the restart. So the fuel pickup, if it's getting a couple air bubbles or anything else into it, when you go to hammer down on the gas coming to the restart zone, you may experience that spittering and sputtering at the wrong time, and may not be able to get the launch that you need to, you know, pick up those extra few positions, be able to pick up the victory. Whatever it may be, you want to try to do everything in your power to keep this car in the best condition it can be up to the point of the checkered flag, and that's what these drivers are doing here, trying to roll right around the apron on the racetrack as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go here. This next time by, as definitely an advantage for the inside lane as they get to continue to do that, continue to use that inside lane, as my boy Brian coming in showing the love. What's good, dude guy? How are you, my boy? How are you, homie? How's your day going? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening, my boy. Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful evening. Alrighty, as we'll get this field stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. Joel Moore says, let's go 51. Unfortunately, the 51 ride of Joshua Moore, he's been collected in a few wrecks and some bad pit strategies, put that 51 ride a couple laps down, and unfortunately, Joshua Moore, I don't think he's going to have a chance of winning this one. Carol says, awesome race tonight. Way to go, everyone. Oh, no, Andrew, she cheered on Andrew. Another Hainsley up in the chat cheered on Andrew, and unfortunately, just saw Andrew get collected in that one as he's back out there on the racetrack, but he's got a lot of ground to make up from where he was as he's back in that 17th position on the racetrack in that laughing clown. Number 24 ride, that Ricky Bobby throwback paint scheme the first time he jumped behind the wheel in that 24. As we'll stack them up, rack them up, get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. These drivers get ready to head down to the Geico restart zone. Our second attempt at the green-white checkered finish. We'll have to wait and see if these drivers can make it all the way back around the start-finish line, or if we see that caution flag come out before they hit that white flag and we see another caution. Will be another green-white checkered attempt, as we have, I do believe, 3 attempts or 5 attempts at the green-white checkers. It's a great restart right there for Kevin Winker. Winker quickly jumping up to the high side of the racetrack here, right in front of Eric Soy and AJ Godsey. As Soy and Godsey were race winner and second place finisher last week, Kevin Winker was in position to be able to win that race early on in the evening. Unfortunately, a late race caution in that one took it away from him. Kevin trying to pick up right where he left off and trying to pick up a checkered flag and trying to redeem himself after last week. But man, a good run down the bottom side here for Ryan Bass. Bass with really no helping hands here except for a little bit of side draft. He's trying to work himself right up towards the front of the field. Here comes William Fox trying to help him out. Jake Bunjo right there as well down the bottom side. Here comes Josh Freed as well in the interstate batteries, as we do see that white flag fly. So one more time around Daytona International Speedway. Is it Kevin Winker who's going to park it down in victory lane? Is it Eric Stoy? Once again, some contact. Zachary Staten going for a ride. Once again, down the backstretch. He's able to keep it going. No one else joining him for that spin, as out in front, it's his teammate Kevin Winker continuing to try to lead the way. The Home Depot number 4 of Eric Stoy right there on his back bumper. As here comes a big push from Jake Buncho to the back end of the 73 of Ryan Bass. Some contact! Oh no, upside down goes the 4 ride. They're wrecking across the start-finish line. I think it's the 8 ride. Rowdy Puckett. Derek Rowdy Puckett's going to put it into victory lane as they absolutely destroy each other down across the start-finish line. The 88 ride of Zachary Staten upside down. Josh Freed coming home in second, and Dustin Rowland, the car completely destroyed there in third. Andrew Hainsley scored in position number 4, and Ryan Peterson rounding out our top 5. Holy moly, ladies and gentlemen, what a finish. I don't even know how we break that one down. My gosh. Oh my, I don't even know how we break that down, ladies and gentlemen. This is a absolutely crazy wreck here. You take a look towards the front of the field here. A big shove out of that 86 ride, the McDonald's number 86, to that pink and yellow orangish number 73 down the bottom side of the racetrack. As they make some contact here, a big shove out of the 86, unfortunately just in the wrong spot. It's underneath that right rear quarter panel of the 73, washes up the racetrack into the 42, washes back down the racetrack, which gets a little piece of the 73 and the 42. Then Eric Stoy there, nowhere to go. The 6 ride, nowhere to go. See Devin Rowland, William Fox all collected. There goes the 8 ride, somehow going right through the middle of it. The 39, a pass through the grass as everyone else flipping through the air here. The 7 ride up into the catch fence. Oh my gosh. There's some wild hits here, chat. There was some absolutely insane contact here. I don't even know who we jump on board with. Dustin Rowland would have had a crazy look at this one in the 78 ride. That's how the 78 ride comes across the start-finish line. In position number 3. Upside down. There goes Zachary Staten going flying by upside down as well. We'll play it back here again and get another look at it. Devin Rowland went for a wild ride as well in this number 7 ride. Looked to be down low and looked to have a clear lane. Unfortunately, just gets hooked, washes up the racetrack, then across the line in the air here for the 7 machine. 78 in the air, the 6 ride upside down, the 998 ride in the air as well across the start-finish line. Absolutely insane. I'm pretty sure our flagman needs a new pair of underwear after that one. Oh my, look at that shot right there. That sums it up for you, ladies and gentlemen. That sums it up for you right there in one frame. My boy Dakota says, can't be Daytona without the big one at the line. 100%, brother. 100%. Let's get another look at this one from this angle here. This is a great shot at what happened here. This is the big one coming to the checkered flag at Daytona International Speedway. Bunch of drivers upside down in the sky across the start-finish line. And a surprising victor across the start-finish line here to pick up the checkered flag in this one, as we'll jump right on board here with our race winner, Derek Rowdy Puckett, as we'll jump right on board the 8 ride and see what he sees from the driver's seat. The C's just park for him perfectly, and then gets collected right at the end here. Jake Bunjo, a couple other drivers getting into him. I think they knew he had to get a little bit of contact at least after picking up the checkered flag, but man, being this car back in the 5th row, running in position number 10, going down the front straightaway to the checkered flag, and this is how quickly things can change as the C's part. He somehow makes it all the way through minimal contact and picks up the checkered flag. Wowzers. That's just absolutely wild, chat. This is just absolutely wild as Derek Rowdy Puckett is going to park it down here in victory lane. What a run. What a drive. What a crazy, crazy finish. What a crazy finish. Great job, Andrew Hainsley, number 24. Wow, it was like dominoes. It was like dominoes. Well, that was one heck of an ending. Great racing tonight. That was a wild, wild ending right there in that one. That was a wild ending. That was absolutely crazy. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow or subscribe button here as well, as we're going to get ready to jump up into the broadcast booth here with our top 3. Jason Ronald Boland coming in, dropping that follow on the stream as well, coming in, becoming part of the Peacemaker family, becoming part of the Peacemaker crew, dropping that follow as we're going to get ready pull our top 3 in here for some post-race interviews. Hey, Derek, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Derek, my boy, take us through those last few moments here. Going to the start-finish line, we were taking a lot of looks at it, a lot of different angles, and you know, you're coming out of corner number 4. You're running in the 10th position, 5 rows back up there on the high side. And somehow or another, with all the mayhem that unfolded in front of you, the C's opened up. And just like Moses got you across the start-finish line here in position number 1, man. What a wild run. What a crazy finish. And take us back through what was going through your mind as the C's were parting there for you and you were able to drive it home in position number 1.
Man, yeah, that was a crazy finish, to say the least. Really, man, my whole goal with this week was just to kind of ride in the back. These cars are really fidgety in traffic, bump drafting. They get really, really loose. So I just wanted to take it easy today and not push it to the front like I normally do. Had a teammate with Kevin up in the lead. We were hoping he'd get the win tonight. Story was there with AJ. And just when the wreck happened, man, I couldn't believe it, man. It parted perfectly. And I had to just make one little adjustment to the 7 car to better miss him, and then, bam, start finish line right there, man.
Absolutely. Definitely a finish for the ages here with the HCK Beagles and the Daytona International Speedway, as that was one of the wild ones. We saw a lot of carnage on pretty much every single car that was left out there on the racetrack get collected there across the start-finish line, except for yourself until after you made it across the start-finish line. But, man, a perfect run, a perfect race here for you. Definitely a surprising finish as we weren't even sure who won the checkered flag coming across the start-finish line, there were so many cars upside down and in the air and 3, 4, 5 wide stacked on top of each other. We had no clue that you were able to escape through that and go right to the front of the field to park yourself down in victory lane.
Yeah, man, it's exciting. Dude, this is one of the best super speedway leagues here at HCK Beagles. Just want to thank Greg for putting on the show every week. I want to thank AJ, Story, Stumpy, Kevin, my teammates, man. They put in the hard work, man, and try to finish good here. And I was rooting for Kevin for the win. Like I said, I was just riding the back, just trying to have a decent finish today. But, hey, it happens. It happens. You take the wins when you get them.
Absolutely, my boy. Well, Derek, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on a great run here at Daytona International Speedway. Hopefully, we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth before the end of the series, and maybe back down here in victory lane. Maybe not so surprising next time, as that was a crazy finish, a crazy race, and definitely great to see you up here in the broadcast booth after having a few tough weeks and being able to get this one in the books and in with the checkered flag.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate everything you do for the broadcast, man. You put a heck on the broadcast, man. I appreciate what you do.
Absolutely, my boy. I try my best, and hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth next week. Maybe same position, back down in victory lane, my boy.
Thank you, man. Have a good night.
You too. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for our race winner, Derek Puckett. Derek Rowdy Puckett picking up the checkered flag and parking the 8 ride down here in victory lane. What a wild run. What a wild finish right there in that one, as we're going to get ready to pull in our second place finisher, the 39 ride of Josh Freed, as we're going to get Freed up here for his post-race interview. Hey, Josh, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Gotcha.
Josh, man, take us through that final lap on the racetrack after a pretty, mediocre race throughout the evening. We saw you pick up, a great finish in the heat race, and then we saw everyone kind of bouncing around, trying to just run some laps out there. A lot of green flag laps to start this, that green flag pit stop, really breaking the field up pretty good out there on the racetrack, and then a few late race caution flags, and then that big one down across the start finish line. You're able to escape through most of it, even getting collected into it, but being able to park that 39 right up here, one spot behind picking up the checkered flag, has got to feel pretty good with the talent and the amount of carnage that happened there in front of you.
Yeah, I'll definitely take P2 after the race. I screwed myself in the pit stops, forgot to uncheck tires, set me back. So luckily I got a caution there at the end to get myself back up front. But it's tougher to make up time in these ARCA cars. You really got to try and take the runs as you can get them and send it 3 wide when you can, because without really being able to push, it makes it kind of tough. So I was able to make my way up a little bit there at the end, and then got a nice little hole formed in front of me to sneak through for second. So I'll take it.
Absolutely a great way to cap off a great evening here for yourself, as that Interstate Batteries number 39 ride looked very, very fast, very racy here all evening long, and be able to park it up here on the podium's got to feel pretty good. Josh, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening at Daytona International Speedway?
As always, my teammate Jake. I actually thought he won there at the end when I saw him fly across my screen out of the grass. And crossed the finish line first, but he said he went through pits and got black flag, so that was unfortunate. But definitely, we always work together when we can, so hopefully next week we can get hooked back up better.
Absolutely. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys back out onto the racetrack. Josh, hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth. Maybe one spot better and down here in victory lane yourself.
I hope so.
Beauty. Josh, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thanks, you too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher, Josh Freed. Is Josh coming home here in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there for that number 2 ride. Now, we do have Andrew Hainsley up in the Discord here. My SDK says Dustin Rowland was in 3rd, but iRacing has it the other way. They have Mr. Andrew Hainsley coming home here in position number 3. So interesting turn of events here as it looks like Hainsley going to pick himself up a solid top 3 finish as we're going to get ready to pull in our 3rd place finisher, Andrew Hainsley, up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Andrew, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Hey, yep, I got a copy.
Andrew, my boy, no help out there on the racetrack for you. You're only driver out there, no teammates. Somehow you're able to escape, a lot of the carnage there at the end of the race, but we saw you get tied up, get spun around there, bringing out that caution. I do believe it was the second last caution or the last caution of the evening, bringing up the green-white checkered finish, which puts you deep in the field, restarting back at about the 17th, 18th position on the racetrack, and then able to work yourself forward a couple spots here and there, but then all of a sudden the mayhem that unfolded going towards the start-finish line, you're able to work yourself through that traffic and come across the line in position number 3, man. Take us back through this one and how you got it done and how'd you get the 24 ride to still come home with the top 3 here after a bit of an up-and-down evening.
Before that first green-white checkered, I was riding around on the outside. I was hoping to get down to the inside. Then I wasn't getting any holes, so I was just riding around, and I was thankful that first yellow came out behind me. And then that second yellow, I don't know what exactly happened. I think the 12 just got a run on me and got into me a little bit, which turned me. And then when we restarted, I was just trying to figure out which lanes I was getting the bigger pushes and the better runs, and stayed there until everything happened in front of me. And when it all started wrecking and stuff, I figured I'll just try and stay in the gas and hope that no one spun in front of me. And then I ended up position 3.
Absolutely a crazy finish here. A lot of drivers, coming from the back to the front there. A lot of cars upside down and everything else flying through the air across the start finish line, and definitely a finish for the ages here at Daytona International Speedway. But a great way to cap off a good evening here for yourself, a good turn of events for the 24 team as you're able to drive it up through all the carnage and up inside the top 3 for a solid podium run. Andrew, who would you like to thank for such a great finish and strong performance here at Daytona International Speedway?
I'll thank my mom. She watches every week, and then Greg and all the admins who put this league on, and then all of the sponsors that sponsor us. We couldn't do it without them either, and all the fans that are watching.
Absolutely, my boy. Well, Andrew, congratulations on a 3rd place run. Congratulations on the great finish here this evening. Hopefully we'll see you back up here in the broadcast booth before the series is over. Hopefully a couple spots better. Maybe down here in Victory Lane, and maybe having a couple of your teammates back out there on the racetrack helping you get towards the front of the field.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely, Andrew. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right, thank you, you too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, Andrew Hainsley. Is Hainsley coming home there in position number 3 as we're going to get ready here for our spin wheel to see what race we're going to be doing next, chat. What race are we doing next? All right, let's see. We got to do exclamation mark spin. Spin? Wow. Can't remember now. Let me see here. He's got the rules up here somewhere. There it is. Slash wheel. Okay, there we go. That's what we needed. Okay, so slash wheel list entries. Let's make sure we get the right entries in here. Okay, so we need trucks, Xfinity, ARCA, and Gen 6 Cup cars. And The wheel of names is thinking. All right, well, it's thinking, chat. We're going to wait. Okay, here we go. Gen 6. That's the wheel spin we got. Gen 6 going to the Cup Cars next week. So an interesting race next week going to the Cup Cars. That's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be very difficult here for maybe some drivers out there. Those Gen 6s are pretty wild out there on the racetrack, but are going to make a lot of fun. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for tuning in. My boy Jeff Brown coming in, dropping that like on the stream as well, coming in, showing the love. Listen, thank y'all for tuning in on an amazing, amazing race, an amazing evening. If you guys missed that finish, make sure you go and check that out. But man, oh man, oh man. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone with the likes, the shares, the comments, everyone tuning in and watching throughout the evening. Another wicked evening of racing action here with the HCK Beagles Super Speedway Series. A huge shout out to all the HCK Beagles crew and all the sponsors and everyone else, all the sponsors over there on the far side of the screen, and everyone for tuning in, man. I appreciate you all. But we're going to call it there on that note. I will see you guys all back here tomorrow evening for some more racing action, as we'll be back in action tomorrow night with a couple different broadcasts tomorrow. So it's going to be a lot of fun, going to be a good time, and hopefully I'll see you guys there in that one. But anyways, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, baby. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Woo, what a race. What a finish. That was insane, chat. That was insane right there. That was pretty crazy, I'm not going to lie.
Well, I ain't got a dollar, but I don't need a dime. I got a little spot in the country where I spend all of my time. When the sun goes down on this itty bitty town, we can light up the bowl and pass it around. I ain't got a dollar, but I don't need a dime.
Yo, my boy Colby Ely coming in with the like on the stream. Appreciate you, Colby, coming in, showing the love, dropping that like on the stream, brother.
Well, the rain could be pouring or the sun shining down. Long as my old truck still fires on up and there's crops growing in the ground. We'll have to pick some muscadines right off the vines, get a little yeast and make a little wine, 'cause I ain't got a dollar, but I don't need a dime. If it weren't for my old dogs and the good Lord, they'd have me strung up in the psych ward. 'Cause every day living in this new world is one too many days to me. Son, we're on the brink of the next world war, and I don't think nobody's praying no more, and I ain't saying I know it for sure. I'm just down on my knees, begging the Lord, take me home. I just wanna go home. I don't know which road to go, it's been so long. I just know I didn't used to wake up feeling this way, cussing myself every damn day. People have really gone and lost their way. They all just do what the TVs say, and I wanna go home. Seven generations farming the ground. Grandson sells it to a man from out of town. 2 weeks later, the trees go down. Only got concrete growing around, and I wanna go home. I wanna go home. I don't know which road to go. It's been so long. I just know I didn't used to wake up feeling this way. Well, cussing myself every damn day. There's always some kind of bill to pay. People just doing what the rich man say, and I wanna go home.